single off the EP is going to be it's a real emotional song.
Myself and Ronan met when we were in our teens. We would have been about 16, so we were in school, and we started busking, so acoustically performing on the streets. In Galway, there's a very famous street called Shop Street, and it is very famous for buskers, so anyone who actually visits Galway will see a busker on every corner of the street. So we actually started doing that when we were about 16, and then when we finished school, we started playing in local pubs, just playing live music in a band, and we won a couple of original songwriting competitions locally, so we started playing bigger events in the local colleges. It kind of built from there. We started writing, recording our own music, kind of more, taking that more seriously. And then in 2016, we started working with our producer, David Skelton, and he really helped us to kind of hone our sound and our production at the moment. So since 2016, really, we've kind of grabbed the bull by the horns, so to speak, and really worked on developing the sound. Oh, I missed that in their own. That's kind of it. Obviously, during the pandemic, things have been a bit quieter, but it gave us time to work on songwriting and stuff like that.
We played, so Galway was voted, our hometown where we live, was voted European Capital of Culture. So they had this big event planned. They were hoping to have 70,000 people at it, but leading up to it, they had a week of festivals, and they had about 5,000 to 7,000 each night, which we played at. So that was 7 nights, and they were planning to end it on the last night in front of 70,000 people and broadcast it on national television. We were lucky that we got to play in front of thousands of people leading up to the big event. Unfortunately, the big event didn't happen. But then leading on toward, we got a lot of fans out of it, and we were hoping to have a few big gigs and a few releases. But then the pandemic happened. We decided to keep writing, which we did. I was writing at home, and we were doing stuff over Zoom, which wasn't great. It was really hard, so we work better when we're together. Yeah, so we wrote about 10 songs, and we recorded about 6 or 7. An album's work finished now, so it's what turned out to be started off as a bad year, turned out to be a productive year in the end. So it wasn't all doom and gloom. Like, for example, one of the songs we wrote, "Losing My Mind," which is about, we haven't released it yet, but it's about it was about being stuck in lockdown. Like anyone, it wasn't normal. We're full-time musicians as well, so all of our work just stopped suddenly. So it went from being really busy to having nothing straight away. So it was very hard. So we didn't know when we get back playing music again. And unfortunately, because we're pub musicians as well, we didn't play a pub gig for over a year. So we were out of work for about 14 months, which is very difficult. Like for anyone, a lot of people lost a lot of work. It was weird because you'd be playing and you'd see people writing to you while you're playing, but you couldn't read what they were saying. So the one thing that we like is rolling into song after song after song. When we were doing it live online, you had to read the comments. So you play a song and there might be a minute break or a minute and a half break between songs. So it felt like it was still great to do it. It was still great to interact because I think people needed music and they needed entertainment. They needed some sort of entertainment to forget about what was happening at the time. So it was really nice to do, and it was rewarding because a lot of people said thanks, which we wouldn't have got beforehand. But it was difficult. It was weird. It was weird, and after a while, the numbers started to drop because it was the same. Everyone was doing it, so it was good. It was rewarding, but it got boring after a while. My nickname is Rofi J, and me and Jamie started busking, so it was just the two of us. And Jamie's name is James, so we just thought it'd be cool to put the two names together, the nickname and his name together. And that's how Rofi James started. Our biggest motivation is just to get people coming to listen to our music and coming to our concerts, our gigs, and just join in on us and have good fun. Because all we want to do is play in front of people and for everyone to join in on our music and have fun.
Hearing our music on the radio, like not only in Ireland, like in Germany and in America and some UK as well, that's especially with this release, it's really up there on a kind of a bucket list things to get new people to listen to your music, and even the response, a lot of the reviews we've been getting have been really humbling, and it's great when you put that work in and people actually respond well to it.
Probably when we were about 21, we were playing originals and covers, and in Galway City you can make money playing covers. You can make good money. back when we were about 21, 22. So about 6 or 7 years ago. My dad's also a musician, so I think I always wanted to follow in his footsteps. I didn't want to when I was younger, but as I got older, I got to play music more. I love music. And seeing people happy and dancing is still probably the best feeling in the world. They can go into a pub feeling down and you can improve their night. So I think it is rewarding. Probably about 7 or 8 years ago. When was it for yourself, Jamie?
I think it was around that time after finishing school and doing a couple of years in college. I was studying programming for 2 years, and I hated it. And then we started playing music, and I was like, yeah, I don't hate this. I want to do this. It's a highly saturated market now, so I think all you can do really is write the best stuff you can and push it to the right people, to the people who like that type of music, and hope for the best. Keep trying. If you work hard, good things will happen.
Musically, we're working on. We kind of found our sound. We're looking for this big anthem music, but not the same. You don't want to go down the same directions that other bands have gone down. We're very much so. We've never tried to be like someone else. We just wrote what we write. But yeah, I know, and it's just keep going in that direction and keep writing and keep improving on the songs that we're writing.
Yeah, in terms of the direction, that's kind of like why we are reaching out to Germany and in Netherlands and further afield, because we want more people. Like, we have music, it's just now we want people to hear it and hear about us. So we're kind of working more on the marketing side like that. We would love to be ideally playing shows in several different countries, and people showing up who really are into our music and like what we do, and it affects them in a positive way. Definitely from our first release, Fool for Your Love, it's definitely evolved quite a bit. We went to more of an acoustic, piano-driven kind of sound, then to a more dark pop sound, and now it's kind of come to indie rock, pop sort of vibe. It was always about the song, just lyrically, and the feeling behind the song, and Rona's voice as well. Rona has a very unique gravel and tone to his voice, so we try to match that with the production too.
There's more, I suppose. I think we've matured a bit. So there's like Fool for Your Love is very much so 22-year-old us. Yeah. And as we've gotten older, I think the songs mean a lot more to us. I think as we've gotten older, we're just evolving a little bit. To the songs that are sounds, to the songs that we like. Yeah.
More life experience behind it as well. More things to, more scars and more bruises to put into the songs. I think after the last 4 or 5 years.
Brendan Walkett, it was the first time we met up after 4 months of lockdown, and we were all outside. It was a nice day. It was nice to meet up with the two boys again. I was just playing the guitar, and I was like, "So take my hand, let's go and run, watch the sun." And it was just like basically just getting out of Galway, getting out of Ireland, and just let's get back to what we used to do. Because there's a lot of frustration built up with us not allowed to play music. I think Berlin Wall was just the idea of just smashing that wall, just breaking down the walls. I think just getting out of your own. Because in Ireland we were only allowed to go travel within 5 kilometres for about 4 months. We weren't allowed to go any further than 5 kilometres. I think Berlin Wall was just a metaphor of just trying to break down that wall. Just let's move on, let's enjoy life, like the way we did in 2019. That's the idea of the song. It's just let's just enjoy life and to have fun again. It's definitely progressed. It used to be the way it would be is that I come up with the melody and a few chords. I bring it to Jamie. Jamie comes up with lyrics, and then that was before COVID. Now it's just we write together. I usually come up with the melody, and then we write the song together lyrically, and we get the main structure down. We write the lyrics down. We might change the structure a little bit, go at the lyrics a little bit more, then put production down on it.
Where's the story? Where's it going? What are we saying here? And then we build the production around that once we have the structure and the story and the hooks. Roman's the melody man, as we call him, because he always comes up with killer hooks and a couple of cool lyrics that we can work off. And then we build it from the ground up like a house in the studio then.
We're hoping to release it for around July, September, in between there. The EP, I think we just need to record one more. We have like 5 or 6 songs recorded. I think there's 1 or 2 songs we're not adding onto it. It's really upbeat. There's one of the things I can say about it. The main single of the EP is going to be it's a real emotional song, real anthemic It has a theme to lockdown and just how we didn't like it.
The mental battle, I suppose, the internal battle between sanity and missing the old life of being able to go out to the pub and meet your friends or go on holidays with your girlfriend. Instead, you're stuck inside having 40 cups of tea and watching Sopranos over and over again. It's definitely an exploration of your inner monologue, talking yourself through rough situations, feeling trapped. Even a lot of the lyrics are, especially in a couple of the verses that you talk about, feel like you're stuck in a cell, like a jail cell. You can imagine you can empathise with people who are actually in prison from being locked inside. We're delighted with the response. Even local radio stations like the iRadio, which they've chose us as their artist of January. The song is being played on every show every day, and there's upwards of maybe 250,000 people listen to that daily, and even more during the week. Or we've received airplay on national stations which get millions of impacts, which is awesome. And even random people that we have never met were buying tickets to our shows and messaging us saying that they really enjoyed the gig and they love the band, which is no matter where you go as a musician, that's the end goal, to get new people to come in and be fans, or just be fans of the music and like what you do, what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I think just what you said there about like even the people at our gig, there's people singing songs that we hadn't even released yet back to us, because they which is really cool. When I was 10, I got to see U2 play in Dublin. And it was the first concert I ever went to, but I remember just looking, there was 80,000 people in this massive stadium, and there's this little small guy, Bono obviously, got everyone singing their songs. And I don't know what it was, it just felt like you were on that stage. And that's what since that gig, I don't know what it was, I just want people to experience that as well, that they're part of the show, that they can sing along to every moment. It's fun. I think it's the Irishness that we love singing, especially when we have a few drinks in us. And it's getting, I don't know, it's just positive. It's real fun.
A great sense of music can speak to anyone with any language. It's universal. You don't have to speak English or German. Once you're at a gig and you sit to the guy beside you or the girl beside you is going crazy and you're singing, it doesn't matter. There's a great sense of camaraderie and togetherness, which is great. Music, that's the great thing about music.
Well, it used to be, it was definitely I Tried, or I think we released it in 2018, but I think Burning Wall was really fun, last month, to play live.
It's nearly easier to play to more people, because they're there, whereas if you're doing a gig and there's no one there, you're kind of like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's more awkward, because when you finish a song to about 7 people, the awkward silence is awful.
I think indie rock, indie pop, maybe indie rock, I'd say would probably be the most accurate at the moment.
About that, yeah. If you like Imagine Dragons, Ex Ambassadors, you like Rofi James, and that style of music.